Hi, I wanted to go through your media collage outline. Your media collage will be due a little while after your media collage outline. The outline is to give you tips, tricks, suggestions on how to increase your points or to increase your knowledge on the media that you chose for that assignment. So the presentation is about 15 to 20 minutes long. You're embedding your voice onto each slide, kind of like what I'm doing here. You do have the ability to do it multiple ways depending on what platform you are using, whether that's Google Slides or PowerPoint. I'm sure that there are other ones like Canva that you can do it as well. So the big things that you should know for this is that you are going to select whatever movie you have. You should have already selected your movie by this time. Movies tend to be the easiest media for this activity, as songs and commercials and so on. They don't really give you a whole lot, right? The media source that you pick can portray aspects of marriage and family life. I give you lots of options or lots of topics that they can address, and then you're going to use vocabulary or subtopics from the entire book. So your topics, everyone asked me, where do I find my topics? And so in your book, you have your table of contents on one side. It's on the first page, listed here, and you'll see it. It has 14 chapters. First one's changing family, all the way to families and later life. If I just go to, and I'm just selecting one, I go to chapter 8, and it's choosing others, dating and mate selection. So I can either put that as my topic if I want to do a broad overview, or I can pick the dating spectrum. If my movie has anything to do with traditional dating, contemporary dating, traditional/contemporary combinations, dating in later life. So, for an example, anything with Jack Nicholson and Diane Keaton could be, a movie for dating in later life. But obviously, there's movies than that. Or you can say meeting others would be your topic, and that's under chapter 8. And so that could be classified mail order brides, speed dating, online dating, professional matchmaking. So again, those are your topics, is the meeting others, and then the vocabulary that you're going to be pulling would be from those areas. So if I wanted meeting others, and that's on page 226, just to be fair, this is how I would do it. 226. You have all of those areas, and then you also have a combination of for meeting others, homogamy, you have filter theory, all of the vocabulary that goes into uh, that topic. So for an example, if you're talking about like the filter theory, and you have a movie that they base their judgments on someone's appearance, then you can talk about the physical appearance, right? And then you like Beauty and the Beast, right? Vanessa Hudgens did an adaptation of Beauty and the Beast. You could totally talk about that, and how getting to know each other is good. You could also talk about social class. The possibilities are endless once you get into that area. So those are just the topics that you would talk about. Okay. I think that's the best way to explain how to get your topics, your 5 topics, and then your 15 vocabulary from those areas. So you'll want to find like 3 from each area, or, however that works out for you. It could be 5 in 1, 3 in 1, 2 in 1, so on and so forth. The other thing that I wanted to touch base really quick is there are two things. The questions that they're asking. The first question is, how is marriage and family portrayed? It is your responsibility to tell me how marriage and family is portrayed. Is it a hardship? Is marriage and family easy, loving, forgiving, caring, whatever you choose to say, and then elaborate on it with examples from the book, from the movie. What aspects of marriage and family life are highlighted and which ones are devalued. So if if you're watching a movie, and it's hard not being specific to one movie, but if you're watching a movie and they are all about family, but the parents do not have a sex life, they're in it just to be in it, right? So they are valuing family, and even if they're valuing not only family, but being true to their partner, right? If they are being faithful, and then it would be devaluing sex or intimacy, right? Or intercourse, I should say, because intimacy is just sharing personal feelings, thought, wishes, and then intercourse is something totally different. So they could be devaluing that, or whatever the case may be, right? So you have to look at what they are truly looking at as a highlight or a value, and what they're looking at as it's not that important, or hey, they're a great family, but the wife is violent with the husband, or vice versa. And then what motifs are represented? Motifs are images. Okay, so if I were thinking of um, movies with images, you can go to the Goonies, and as soon as you think of the Goonies, you probably have certain images that are placed in your head, like the picture of One-Eyed Willie. Or if you are thinking of Pirates of the Caribbean, then you probably are thinking of the coin, right? Again, I know I just have two pirate movies back to back. You're probably thinking, wow, Summer's really gotten to her head. But there's a motif or an image that you think of. And that's true with almost every movie that there is. A red balloon, right? So think of what motif is there, and and how they relate the study of family and marriage to their assignment. And again, I can always relate marriage and family topics to any movie, including the movie It, so that's not far-fetched. So how do you believe the makers intend for their message to be perceived? Are there any biases? If there is a woman in the relationship who is violent with their significant other, and no one believes him, is that a bias? Or vice versa, if there's a relationship of violence, you know, is that a problem? Or is there, if one person, if they're having problems or not having sex in the movie as one of their relationship problems, do they blame the woman? Are they blaming the male? Or, however that works, who are they blaming? And is that a bias? Images portrayed perceptions of marriage and family. When we think of perceptions, it's what you're getting out of it. So how are marriage and family life portrayed in the movie? And so images of that portrayal or perceptions of marriage, you've got to include that, right? So, and then the last question, well, not the last, but there's two last questions. Are the images of marriage and family accurate, given what you've learned in class? On a slide, you can answer like yes or no, and then you have to say why. And then how do theories presented in the class apply to your medium? And so the theories in class, you can do multiple different types of theories from this class. And then you would just explain how those theories apply. So for the most part, that is it. So you're going to have your topics, you're going to have your vocabulary. These are just, again, suggestions of movies. So please keep that in mind. Other than that, I think everyone's on a good start. Fingers crossed. Reach out to me if you have any questions, and I hope that this truly helps. Thank you.